Welcome back, guys, to today's episode to Rethink. Today we have Kevin Capelão, my dear brother, creative designer, ex-footballer, just a connoisseur, you feel me, of culture. What are your guys' names again?
Damn, bro.
What's your call?
It doesn't matter. It
really doesn't matter.
Y'all know who I am.
Yeah.
Y'all know who I am.
You should know by now.
You should know, yeah. But yeah, I'm Anderson. This is Jose. That's Sayen. Follow us, everywhere, I guess.
Follow them on Instagram,
TikTok,
on
YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe down below.
Yes.
Click the notification
Share
button.
with your mama,
Damn.
your dad,
your mom,
your uncle,
Your
Yeah,
aunts.
I agree.
aunts,
Your
cousins,
nieces.
nieces. Bro, if you have a baby, a 1-year-old baby, make sure you create an account and subscribe.
Yeah. So the main focus of today's episode is to talk about 244 Angels at Heart, which is Kevin's upcoming brand.
Yes.
And we're just want to, dive a little bit more into who Kevin is. I don't really know this guy. He's just my brother and all.
Just
that.
grew up with him,
Yeah.
But hey.
But I don't really know him like that. You feel me?
27 years. Nah, actually not 27, but close.
Damn, you old, bro.
Yeah, 24. You're 27 this year.
I'm 28 this year, not 27.
You don't know
I'm
your brother's
already
age.
27.
Damn.
You see?
How old am I?
Huh?
No, but I guess
20, brother. You're turning 21, not this year.
Yeah, when's my birthday?
Right.
details.
That's 2nd of July, 2004.
Don't give all
You
the
feel me?
information out there. They go,
Bro, you
just
asked.
watching.
I will
Right,
give you a
brother.
federal name, bro. This nigga has a little.
I'll give them your fiscal number. I'll give them your social security number.
Well, it's actually really interesting to have my brother here because I guess it's not always, you don't always have an opportunity to actually talk about like what he's creating in a deep manner and a professional manner kind of also. And I'm glad to have two of my best friends here to, really just piss him off
The
in a way that I
boys.
can.
Sir.
I know about your upbringing because, I'm your brother.
Yeah.
But something that is super interesting and I think a core of who Kevin is just that he's an athlete. Like truly competition
That's my
runs
boy.
through his blood, you know?
Yes, sir.
And so could you tell us a bit more about that part of yourself, that competition, and also just how you grew up living in all these different countries as I did and these guys did too?
Yeah. So, again, my name is Kevin. I was actually born in France, in Nancy, not in
Damn.
Paris like you. I was born in a little town, God knows where.
Hey, started from the bottom, man.
Start from the bottom. No.
You're saying that to
But,
an Angolan audience?
I think I don't really actually know the story. When I left Nancy, I think I was maybe a few months old or a year old. But we went back to Angola for 4 years. At this point, this boy was not born yet.
Yep.
So I
Still
my
happy.
first memories was of Julio Verne. Like I think that was already after kindergarten. Julio Verne is
It's like, do they have primary?
not
I mean,
middle
I think
school, it's a primary
they have a
school.
primary and a high school, but
Yeah.
yeah.
And actually, I was with your older sister in my kindergarten.
Really?
I don't know if you know that story, but I
No.
barely know it. So
Okay.
our moms know it. But there used to be a lady in our kindergarten that used to beat us.
Damn.
And, yeah, bro.
But that's the image you want of Angola, man?
Nah, bro. But that's school. It's just school, bro.
What's
Educational. What do you want?
So this whole brand is because somebody beat you up.
No, I mean it started my my hungerness and no, but yeah. So after that, because of our parents' job, we had to move around a lot. We've been to Asia, Europe, Africa, but I would say in the sports, my first passion was in Angola. I think I remember just
Running
playing-
away from home to go play in the streets,
Yeah, I
and
mean-
after mom whipping your ass.
I love how we have the brothers' perspective, bro.
Yeah. No, I was just honestly, I never liked school. To be honest, until not recently, until I turned 21, I really did not really get why school existed. Probably not why school existed,
Hey,
but
I didn't like school, but why school existed is
No,
interesting.
no,
I
no,
really
no.
didn't see the point.
no, honestly, if I didn't have to do school and I could focus 24/7 on football, I would have 100%. Honestly, and also obviously still gaining knowledge because you have to be kind of a human. not just an athlete. But yeah, the first moment of me loving football was literally putting 2 rocks on the streets and playing with the neighbors, running away little from mom and dads.
Little question. I'm gonna interrupt you. Do you think that if it wasn't for school, you would have had a professional career in football?
I don't think it's because of school that I didn't have a professional career, but I think a lot of the teachers at school don't understand the athlete life. I think we're gonna get to it, but the 3 values of 2 for 4, being courageous, being strong, and being determined, kind of came from football. Yeah. At a young age, you already start learning how to be disciplined, even though that word is not there because your parents still treat you like a kid. But the things you needed to do already kind of put you in the forefront of the maturity race with a lot of other kids around.
Yeah. So 2 follow-up questions. I think first to give them a bit more context. Yeah. When I say like he was an athlete, could you give them like what level of that did you reach?
Yeah. So because we moved a lot, I was never able to be in an academy. But after Brunei, I was, I think, 15 at the age or 14. We moved to Holland. Again, moving, we're probably going to touch that point, but moving around was very hard as an athlete or as a football player because you kind of need to adapt to the new team, new environment, blah, 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 blah. So I got to Holland, no sort of connection to nobody. My dad and mom didn't know anyone in the football industry, so I had to go look for a club myself. And I actually did, which was quick. It was an amateur club, but they're, let's say, the U19 and the U16, they played in the higher divisions. Yeah. Against clubs they had their first team in the pro level, but their B teams or their under teams in the same level as us. So I actually started at U19, but the 4th team of U19.
Damn.
And that was kind of like
somewhere, man.
Yeah, that was kind of humbling. I came from like in Angola where we all went to the same school. I used to everyone in that field. When I'm telling you, probably like a lot of the people that grew up before me, I remember, and I will pay homage to those guys, the older generation. I used to play with them a lot more than my own people in my own year. But it was concrete. It was a lot of nutmegs. It was a lot of like
just
learning,
hardcore
learning skills. But in Holland, my skills started developing in the sense of like 11-a-sides, a bigger game. So yeah, after a few months, I got the trial at the A4, and literally took me maybe 3 months to get to the A1. And
so what is A1 for people?
A1
you're talking
is like,
a lot of football terms, but people
A1 in Holland is like so you're U19, but you're in the first team of the U19. So we were playing against NAC Breda in Holland. NAC Breda, Feyenoord, MVV, which is Maastricht. So we played against pro clubs, but ourselves we weren't paid anything. We're an amateur club playing against that.
Little question. I think that's where you were heading at. But how did you feel going from I beat everybody up, I'm that guy, to like
I think it was kind of that mission I had to have with myself, like. And I'm getting to the point where now I think I've seen in life where you go through phases where you're quiet or less popular. Not even popularity, it's not about that, but you're less in your motion, you're less confident or whatever it is. So at that moment, it's just time to put work in. Like it's not like I never put myself down. It's like, oh, why are they there and I'm not there? I'm like, I'm not there because of reasons that really I didn't have control of. How do I get there though? Like ain't nobody gonna beat me, you know?
I feel like that's a necessary experience, like in anybody's life. Exactly. I feel like that's a huge motivator when you like reach a certain obstacle. When you're confronted to people that are better than you, it'll always motivate you to do better.
100%.
There's a story about Michael Jordan where one time in practice, like he wasn't the best in like high school and stuff like that, but he was so motivated by the people beating him, and he had such a competitive drive that for one whole summer, like he tried so hard, and when he came back, he was a completely different player. Like after that point, nobody could touch him. You know?
I think what you said is really important. Like it's that mentality of like at times not your fault, and you can't really put it on yourself. I think a lot of people put it on themselves, and because of that, they either quit because it's too hard, or just like get sad or get depressed or like blame themselves.
Yeah.
And I think that's a really healthy mentality, and I think that's part of what 244 is and represents.
Yeah.
So,
and I think getting back to your point, I think there's just a few people I think that differentiate themselves with a lot of people just by having these extra characteristics of like like you said, not letting yourself down or not blaming yourself or not victimizing yourself in the sense of like, I don't deserve it because I'm here. It's like, for me, I always looked at achieving what's in front of me or what the goal is for me to get at. And I think there's always a way, right? A to B, but there's always a way to get to B.
Way.
Yeah. So
True.
go on, like finish with the journey. So what happens after that?
So after that, I was playing for the club, doing pretty well. Also playing for my high school team. We played. So for my club, I played Division 2, which was a level under the pro level. And then for high school team, since we were in international schools, we played a tournament called ISST. So it was all the best international school teams in Europe, and we were Division 1 for that. Cool. My freshman year, I was the only freshman to be in the varsity team in Holland. Eri will say he could have, but he never tried, so I still get that. Eri is one of my best friends. I played 4 years there. We never won, so that's one of my worst things in life that I will hold for until I die, that we never won the tournament. We came second, we came third, we came second. We used to travel a lot to London and London, Germany, whatever. But then I saw that I was getting a little too old because of the circumstances that I was in, moving too much. I was like, you know what? America is looking for talent from Europe that is very good. Maybe it's going to be harder for us to make it in Europe. So let me see what's on the other side of the world. And I think because we moved so much, I never had the fear of like, you know what, let me go to next mission, you know? And I saw that as an opportunity. So 2 years before we graduated from high school, we started going to camps in America, which then we landed a scholarship in University of Portland. Yeah. Division 1 team. We were ranked 17 in the nation. Because of the NCAA, which I can't really get into, but I wasn't allowed to play anymore. So I had to decide to move back home because I was not going to study in the States for hella money. You guys are studying in the States, 70 grand a year. Y'all look crazy. So I moved back to Amsterdam to do my bachelor's. But I got to that level because I loved football.
Yeah, just determination, I guess, right?
Yeah.
What I was going to ask you is, what did you take or what did you put in the brand that, like, you lived two completely different experiences, the European and the American, I guess, and the Angolan African experience.
Yeah.
What, like, those three elements, how did they shape you?
I think it just makes you multicultural. It's hard for me to judge someone based on where they're from, more based on what they do or what they say. I think living in Asia, Africa, Europe, and America, you could see the cultural aspects of each.
Yeah.
But I would say there's things I love about the European culture, and there's things I love about other cultures, and But what made me today, I think that helped me more be multicultural and understanding people. So in business, if you are able to understand people, I think it's a good advantage to have.
That's the most important thing, And throughout all these like international experiences, like obviously you spent a good portion of your life outside of Angola.
Yeah.
How were you able to maintain and keep ties with like where you're from throughout all those experiences? Yeah.
So I think my first shock was probably Brunei. I think Brunei, we went to Indonesia before. We lived in Indonesia, but I think Brunei was a little more of a shock because we were like, I think 3 or 4 African families.
Damn.
like you knew, like all the moms that were African hang out with each other.
Yeah.
So it's like the little comments of like, you are African. But where's Angola? You know, because also when you travel to these places,
oh my God,
they don't know where we're from, guys. Like,
that's the worst thing for me. Nice, you're from Angola. Where's that?
Angola? Where's that? They don't even like. One thing I was surprised, and this is deriving from the question, but like the connection to Portugal, like they're like, oh, you speak Portuguese, and I'm like, sometimes I'm surprised, like, oh, how do you like the Portuguese went so many places?
Yeah.
How do you not know? But what was the question? Sorry, it was.
How do you always feel connected I guess, to your roots while you constantly travel?
I think our parents did an amazing job keeping us. They both were born in Angola. We have Portuguese heritage, but both my mom is from Lubito and my dad's from Huila. Lubango. And they were both born and raised there their whole lives, and then they started to travel after their 20s or whatever. But home foods, the music, the way we just like the humor, the values, the talk, like
it's just different.
When people tell me, yeah, you are Portuguese, I'm like, sure, I have the Portuguese passport, but it's how, like, if a Portuguese person sees me, they'll directly know I'm not Portuguese.
There's a difference.
I really want to get into this debate, and we'll enter that debate later because you always talk about this. How you don't feel.
I don't know.
You're gonna talk about it.
That's crazy. No, but
already talked about.
Yeah. Well, what I was gonna say about like feeling connected to your roots when you're constantly traveling, I do think that like me being in France, these are kind of the moments where I feel maybe like extra Angolan than when I'm in Angola, because like I don't know why, but I feel the need to represent my country while I'm here.
Yeah, you faking it. What you mean faking? What you feel like you need to represent, bro? Represent. Don't feel like
I don't feel like I'm representing.
But it's just like in Angola, nobody's ever gonna ask you what is Angola, right?
Yeah.
So like when you're here, people have so many questions about the country and stuff like that you yourself have to then become also more knowledgeable, so you
almost
can
an ambassador.
have it.
But I also think a lot of
because they just don't know where Angola is.
Yeah. But I also think a lot of Angolans don't know the full history of Angola because it's hard to get access to that information. And that's why the 244 I'll explain. But also I was like, because to understand about Angola, if you're not living there, if you just Google it, it's hard. All the information that we have is not provided by, maybe some of information, of course, by our government, but there's a lot of history missing.
Why are you scared, brother? No, there's a lot of history missing. But also there's just like cultural elements that if you don't live, it's just like any other country really, that if you don't live there, you'll just won't understand. But yeah, what I meant to say is like when you're here, I don't know why, but you feel like, since you feel more isolated, you yourself think, okay, why does this make me more Angolan or more European than the other person?
I feel like you also compare like cultural aspects, the differences between where we are right now, like at Paris, and our experience in Luanda. Like the culture shock is a real thing. It's a huge thing. The way people treat each other, the way they greet each other, the way they talk to each other, culturally it's completely different. And so you find yourself kind of always comparing and acting kind of as a beacon to your culture. I mean, there's plenty of times where I find myself like thinking, oh, in Angola, like
we don't do this.
We don't do this. And like when you meet up with like another African person with a culture that's a bit similar, you instantly kind of have that vibe, you know?
Yeah.
And that's why I think Africa is such a powerful continent. Because I can literally meet so many people.
Shit, we're getting into the good stuff.
Not to be political or anything, but I feel like when Africans meet, it's just like, it's happiness. It's like, it's some sort of mutual respect that you have.
I'm scared we could lose that, because I think that comes from like, we went through so much. We went through similar things, right? We suffered so much all together that it almost creates a bond between all of us.
Yeah.
And I feel like the moment we start like developing the countries, we're going to create, like European countries did and American countries did, we're going to become more and more individual, which I don't want. And I think that's a point, I'm going to let you introduce the brand, but I think that's a point we're going to touch. It's how can we develop our country without or without copying Europeans, Americans, and nations that are already developed. But yeah,
To a simple answer, I think culture is very hard to change.
Yeah.
okay.
Like I think they're just things that because of like it's almost like a communal trauma bond. You feel me?
Yeah, for real.
And that
Bro,
trauma,
bro, you
continues on for
you go to
generations.
China, you tell them, nah, bro, you can rest 5 hours of the day. They'll probably be like,
Huh?
but
Are
I'm
you
used
crazy?
to working,
Yeah.
like, you know, like,
Yeah, but
but it's culture, you know?
Yeah.
like even Japan, no one's still telling them to make everything super detailed and perfect. Like this is just something that has been passed down for generations,
Yeah.
and no matter how developed now they are, that is still how they view
See
things.
things.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's fair.
I think.
But yeah, talking about like view and perspective, right?
Yeah.
Now on maybe understanding a bit more like your journey going from like this vision of one day maybe becoming a pro athlete, right? And then you go from Portland to Amsterdam where you do your bachelor's in media and information,
Yeah.
right? And then you do your master's in Barcelona
Yeah.
for
Digital marketing.
Digital marketing, exactly. That's exactly what I was
Show.
like once again we'll let you present the brand, but
Yeah,
how do you
how the-
think like this journey, right? How do you think it shaped yourself from a creative point of view, and how did
Yeah.
you bring that onto 244? If you want to present 244 now, like
And yeah,
probably
Yeah.
that's fine.
While
Like,
answering this question, you can transition directly to the 244.
yeah.
Okay. So, as I told you, in life there's gonna be ups and downs, but it's not ups in the sense of ups and downs in the sense of emotions, but like ups where you feel like everything's going right for you, you're the most confident and whatsoever. And then the moment I left Portland, I kind of didn't really process it. I was like, I worked 18 years for this and I'm like, right now I'm on the way back home alone, no, but for
Feeling
real,
like a
like
failure.
it's
Yeah.
it's
Did
like
you feel
these
like a
moments.
failure?
Yeah, that's what. Good question.
No, I would never feel like a failure. Shit.
Hey, no, be honest, man.
Stop the
It's
cap.
okay.
No,
Stop the
hell
cap.
no,
Stop
bro.
the cap, bro.
Why you lying, man?
For real, I would never feel like a failure. I'm my mama's, bro.
Hey,
Yeah, for real.
Lot of
Because
my mama.
and that's the confidence that I'm talking about. It's not confidence it's about belief. It's about believing in yourself. And if you're really, really connected to like how you know your worth, I think this whole fear of not being confident is not even gonna be a thought. Bro,
Yeah.
when you're in the truck and you see the
This
line
isn't
where
about me, bro. I run.
but yeah, so I went back to Amsterdam to do my bachelor's. Let's say first year passed, maybe a little less, and I realized like everyone's on the same type of timing. Like it's a uni, then chill, then party. Uni, chill, and party. But then what football taught me was like that is not enough. I used to go to school, but then I used to go back and
Hey,
be
bro, when
motivated
you're a
about
student
something,
athlete,
you know?
you have no time.
There's no time
It's
to
crazy.
chill. And when I had too much time, I was like losing my mind.
Yeah.
I was like, my brain is going. So then I was like, I had a lot of friends that were musicians. So I was like, you know what? While studying, I was getting a lot of theory, but we weren't putting anything into practice. University of Amsterdam is very research based, so it's a bunch of theory. But I'm like, bruh, I'm gonna go to somewhere. I'm not gonna be able to apply nothing.
Yeah.
So then I started my own digital marketing agency with two of my best friends. So the goal was to help artists make content online on Instagram, but then we shifted kind of for businesses. But then that was the first trial of my life, Obviously, I had two partners next to me, and it was also at their own journey for themselves. Even though we were all three together in the same project, they had their own experiences. But then I felt like, okay, I feel stuck in Amsterdam. I feel like I've gained a lot of knowledge. I already grew up here in high school, not in Amsterdam, but in The Hague.
Yeah, and
I already
cold
kn-
as
It's
Yeah,
cold as shit, depressing. So it didn't really help me. So then I was like, you know what? Let me do a master's. And then actually that was the first time I was like, you know what? I am smart. I just graduated from a very hard uni. I am not smart because I always knew I was street smart. Like I could talk to people, make good friends, But book smart, I was like struggling with that.
Talk about how school makes people that aren't book smart feel like
Yes,
like
bro, it put me in sales class. Maybe I'll do better.
I swear, bro. I think in high school the only time I did good was language, sport, and presentations. That was it.
But
And
to me, no, because I was very shy. Presentation,
Oh, okay.
I would, but I think more of a. I like physics, for example. I like
Really?
cars. I like the way, like understanding how things work, and I kind of like.
No,
I
that
think
shit.
see,
school needs
same-
to do a better job at identifying
your
and
type.
Yeah,
let's say,
like-
yeah.
because people the thing is there's only one education system kind of like if you're in a French school you have the French system
Yeah.
and they teach everybody the same
same.
way. I feel like I don't know, maybe they could find a teachers should find a way to be able to kind of identify and
Yeah.
adapt their way of teaching
Yeah.
like for the students and try to bring out their strengths. That's something that isn't done enough
Because
in my opinion.
it's that confidence thing that you're talking about. It's like the more school gave me bad grades, they said you can't.
Yeah.
I started believing it.
Yeah,
almost,
exactly.
And at some point it was like, hey, why am I doing this?
Yeah.
I think it was only the last year where it clicked. I was like, hey, this is for me. You got to get good grades. And what's funny is math, bro. I loved it at first. Then they started introducing like numbers, and not numbers.
They're all numbers. Play-Doh. Like putting the bucks together.
Yeah.
They started putting
11th
letters,
grade.
Theorem de Pythagoras, things that you can't
Symbols.
really. I swear, bro, things that you can't really apply. And what's funny is now we're doing finance,
Yeah.
and it's like I like that because I can apply it.
Yeah.
I can see the results,
Mhm.
and it's just like I think it's what you're saying. School needs to do a better job at finding your type and giving you what's best for you.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
And it's hard because at the end of the day, you have to have kind of some standardization to
Yeah.
to
Yeah, if you
everything.
want
You know, a
to,
system.
mass education is
Yeah,
way harder.
far
It's
more.
harder
Yeah.
to personalize for every person.
But
Yep.
but I think like even though school was like you had those
Yeah.
professors or whatever that weren't really keen on student athletes, there was also others. Well, my business teacher or other teachers were very nice and very supportive, and they understand like, yeah, you have this talent somewhere else than others people. Of course, like if I'm training 8 hours a day and then someone's reading the book 40 hours, like
Yeah,
of course
yeah.
he's gonna do better than me.
Normal, yeah.
Yeah, so I moved to Barcelona, and this is where I was alone. I had no friends. I didn't know nobody in Barcelona. But again, getting out of my comfort
Hey man, I
zone.
always thought you were the popular kid. I'm disappointed.
Bro, what do you mean, bro? High school. No, I'm joking. I'm not gonna pump myself like that. But
you were.
Shit, man, I was that guy.
I'm the
Like-
guy.
At least me growing up with you, like I'm not sure. I'll expose your business out here.
don't expose my but
No, but I'm just saying, like it seemed like you had a
no, honestly,
vast friend group.
we didn't have a. that's the
What do
thing.
you mean?
We didn't have a vast friend group. We had close friends that were all very determined. Like
good.
I went to America with two of my best friends, the same school. Have you seen the LeBron James movie?
Yeah.
Like the
The
Fab
five.
Four, the
Yeah.
Fab Five, then became Fab Five. We were the Fab Three. But when I'm
Never
telling you,
became top
Lucas, Ira, and I, how we used to play, they used to call us the Dutch boys in Portland.
None of the
None of us
made it. None of them made it.
No, but so yeah, that football and then having these like not setbacks, but understanding myself. Like, and now I was getting into marketing, understanding like the theory, but also applying it. Then starting my own business, understanding how like a business actually operates, because no one teaches you that. YouTube
even in
was
business
Not even in business.
yeah,
bro.
like swear YouTube
Don't
best
go to
uni-
business school if you think you're gonna learn how to learn a business.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly. And I'm like, bro, how you run a business school and your school is failing? Like,
Yeah, I
huh?
swear.
Yeah. So then when I graduated from my master's, I already started having ideas of like creating a brand. First, actually, it was a hat brand. I was like, I wear a lot of hats. I think it's a cool accessory. But then as I started doing more research, I was like, okay, it's an accessory. Like I can't make a full brand out of it. The market is saturated. There's like two big brands with New Era and then their own brands that make their own hats. But I didn't want to get into that. Then I had my homies from Deuxième Origine that were doing streetwear. I got inspired by them, and I was like, I since football, my dream was always to be like swaggy and like looking nice and
Walking that red carpet.
walking the red carpet.
Only
exactly.
wearing black ever.
Only
This
wearing
guy
black
has
ever.
white
look at
t-shirt.
him.
He only has black and then a white t-shirt.
Exactly. Very simple, but it took me 2 years to get here. But I think I am so ready. I think I've been quiet for long enough. I think I've been studying long enough. I think I've been planning it, making sure that I'm doing this for the right reasons rather than the wrong reasons. And I came up with 244 Angels at Heart, which is gonna be a luxury fashion brand.
Could you talk a bit like about the actual name 244
Oh, that's
Angels
true.
at Heart?
Yeah.
What exactly is the meaning behind it, and what made you decide, this is what?
Because it sounds fire, don't get me wrong. But
Yeah.
what is it?
So have you guys heard of the power of 3?
Nope. I mean, I know we are the power of 3, but
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you got it right. 3 colors, 3 words, just do it. 3 bars, Adidas. So there's
Wait. Okay.
as I started doing like the research, I understood that like a lot of these brands use numerology. It's some sort of like obviously it's not scientific. Don't get me wrong. I don't know if it's scientific. I don't know it that deeply, but it kind of inspired me to come up with 244. In English, it would be called 244 Angels at Heart. 244 is the area code for the phone code. What would you call it?
Yeah, it's
area
phone code for
phone
Angola.
code of Angola.
Yeah.
And also it's an angelic number. So as I was doing this, developing the concept of the brand, I always had this like, this mini voice in me that's telling me like, what if? But then I also had the other voice telling me like, what? The confidence voice that telling me like, you are like, just believe in yourself. You can do this. So that's the Angels at Heart. So 244 is an angelic number, and it means determined by courage, strength, and determination.
Oh, that's dope.
The meaning: courage, strength, and determination. And yeah, I just found this double meaning very cool. I know that all of us have a good side and a bad side, and I feel like any human has the choice to be good. And that comes with the slogan "Angels at Heart."
You gotta follow the angels at heart.
Yeah.
That's
You gotta follow.
Fire.
Crop the new hoodie.
You need to be determined, because I was determined to get to this point. You need to be strong, and you need to be courageous. So take that leap of faith that most people wouldn't take.
What for you was like one of the unexpected? Because you said it's been like 2 years that you've been working behind the scenes to come up with the brand that we'll be launching soon.
Yeah.
What was the biggest like unexpected challenge that when you were like, I did not know I had to
Money.
jump through this hoop.
Hey, we knew that.
Come on, bro. No, look. I think money can be a factor, or can't, or could not be a factor in building a brand. Tyler, the creator, you guys are gonna see him. He said like, if you want to sell T-shirts, why don't you start with buying white T-shirts, screening on it, sell it for $5, and then you build upon it.
Yeah.
I think you don't exactly need thousands of dollars or euros to start a brand. I think depending on your vision, you either wait 2 years to save that bread, or you directly go for it and start and learn as you go, and then invest as you go. Question? Sorry.
He's not a podcast.
He's not a podcast.
What was the unexpected challenge?
Oh yeah, the unexpected challenge. So, I think it was more about building a powerhouse. So powerhouse, what I mean is like a fully developed concept. I wanted to make sure that not only the product is of high quality, I wanted to make sure that the packaging, that the websites that the users are going to be in, because I am from a digital marketing background, I want to make sure that the experience that you have with my brand from going online to getting the product and opening the product. An experience doesn't stop until you actually wear it.
And even then, you can argue that it doesn't stop because it makes you feel a type of way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, but getting all of that together takes like tweaks and tweaks and tweaks. Oh, which material do you use for the freaking packaging? Like how much are you gonna pay for like the courier? So DHL, you gotta make contracts with these people. You gotta register the business. None of this was taught to me. I had to go out my way to do it, you know? And understanding those like back aspects, the admin aspects that people are like, oh, let me create a brand. But then you don't like doing the registering business or contacting venues and doing this and that.
It's not for everybody, honestly.
It's not for everybody.
Yeah.
But I think that's mostly, I wouldn't say I struggle with a certain specific thing. It's just like along the way I started like, okay, I need to learn this. And then it's just like a quick, you know, side quest. Like, okay, like, oh, like I need to learn more about this before I continue. This is why it took me 2 years.
Yeah. As you spoke like on the values, right, of courage, strength, and determination, how do you think you integrate those values into like the process and the experience that you've been building?
Yeah, I think...
Just really quick, you are fully in podcaster mode. I respect
You like
that.
it?
I respect it.
He's a felt the voice back to back. Let them ask me questions, man. My own brother. No, that's tricky.
No comment.
No comment. It's like like I told you the other day off cam. No, we were having a meeting and I told him I am not the owner of 244. I'm the creator. And what I mean by this, and we can even touch on it now, is
because
man just
it sounded fire.
I don't know what the you better structure this right, okay?
Nah, bro, I'm gonna explain myself, but yeah, you guys throw me so many senses. Well,
Courage, strength, determination.
Yes.
How are those in the 244?
It's gonna be in the storytelling, so in the marketing. Well, you guys know more, but I don't want to touch on the future plans of 244 of how
Are you gonna tell us about the first drop, or is that?
No, I'm gonna tell a little bit about the first drop, but like the second, third, fourth drop, it's gonna be like as it comes out. But it comes with, first of all, the creation of the brand. So these values is the characteristics I had to have of my own to create the brand. But then in the storytelling, I'm gonna incorporate like protagonists that showcase the same characteristics. And these are people that are icons and heroes of our culture.
That's what that's what I wanted to ask you. Like, you talk about these values, which are incredible, but what is that? Are those the values you want for your audience? Like, are you trying to give them those values? Like, who is your audience? Like, you know?
I think my audience is people, first of all, that like fashion. Then if you go deeply into it, it's like quite luxury people that like simple clothes, like I do. That scream quality over like money. Oh, I have money. It's not about status. This is more about, let's say, a community-driven clothing brand to inspire others to relate back to their own roots. Me telling a story about my roots should inspire them to find out more about where they're from, and the people that paved the way for them to kind of be represented in today's world.
Yeah.
So from what I'm getting, you're not necessarily representing Angola directly, like through the clothing, but more through the story behind the brand. Is that what you're?
There's gonna be little aspects of the clothes that have like a little sentiment. Okay. For example, the logo. It's 244, but it's also a diamond. Yeah. And these are like the two diamonds is to represent my Portuguese and Angolan heritage, and they fit into one another. So the small square fits into the, and it's, if you pay attention to it, it's also two diamonds with four sides, 244. So
You thought about everything.
It's in the details.
Yeah, it's in the details.
Okay, like stop me if I'm wrong. It's
Yeah.
a question like from you saying like I'm not the owner of the brand.
Yeah.
I'm just part of it, you know. And with the values that you're telling me and saying that Angola is part of it, but you want everybody to express their culture through the brand.
Mm-hmm.
Like it sounds really beautiful to me. Like
Yeah.
it's just like the brand almost represents how the person wearing it feels.
Mhm.
It empowers the person wearing it. It's not necessarily just your story.
Yeah.
And I think that's really nice.
Yeah.
Because usually
Mhm.
brands it's like, oh, this brand, its value is freedom. And so when you wear this, you feel free.
Yeah.
I think your brand, from what I'm getting, is way more than this. It's like
Yeah.
you feel empowered and like it really is your feelings through the clothes.
Well, yeah, there's like Virgil Abloh.
Mhm.
I was watching an interview of his where he's speaking about Off-White, and like there's this interviewer that asks, as Off-White was becoming super popular, knockoffs started like being created.
Yeah.
And she was like, "Oh, how do you feel about like these knockoffs being created?" And he goes, "To be honest, I feel like that's more Off-White than my Off-White because they're making it their own."
Exactly.
That's
and
free promotion.
Yeah, but I think kind of what you said by I am the creator
owner.
and
Yeah.
not the
I'm
owner
the creator, not the
Creator,
owner.
is kind of like when people wear a clothing, hopefully from 244, like the common factor are those values of
Yeah.
courage, strength, and determination. That's what really builds
Yeah.
the community. But after how they apply those values,
on-
it's on their life and
Yeah.
what they can do with those. At least that's how I interpreted it.
Yeah, me too.
And you have to see brands like in the luxury or any brand, let's say like Louis Vuitton, it's travel. I think a brand needs to represent something. And I feel like I struggled buying clothes. That's also one of the reasons why I was like, at the end, I'm like, oh, why not start a clothing brand? Because it's like, I struggled buying clothes because Zara, everyone literally will look the same at the end of the day. Just like these two right here, wearing the same thing. It is Zara and Uniqlo.
Yes, sir.
Wrong.
No, hey, don't get me
take it
wrong.
off, I'll
Don't,
show
no,
the
no,
brand
no.
right
Don't get me wrong. They look wavy.
This is Louis.
No, they look wavy. They look wavy. I'm not trying to diss on my boys. but
Don't try to back. Stand your
I'm
ground.
gonna tell him to take his shirt off. But yeah. So I was like, you know what? I can't afford these luxury brands. But then there's no middle brand that like kind of represents something or speaks for something and still looks swaggy. I want my clothes to be elegant but sexy. I want the girls to no, for real. No, for real.
God, bro.
On God, I want females that wear. I want females that wear my clothes.
Gender
To look at me, that's all I want.
Nah, I want females to wear my clothes and feel like they're the sexiest selves, and then men to feel like their most confident self without having screaming money.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Okay,
And I
okay, I
think
get what you're
that's
saying.
where in a clothing
World.
industry
Yeah.
we're missing, because like a lot of the brands that men wear is just screaming, I have money.
Yeah.
And bro, if you have money to spend on €1,200 jacket,
Spend it on 244.
Yeah. No,
for real,
but
bro.
you said something that I actually never thought about, and it's true. Like for men, it's like money, so it's stamped Louis Vuitton all over the
Yeah.
place. It's
Mhm.
Gucci, it's whatever. And it is true that more simple brands, more low key brands, don't have the same light onto them. And I like
Yeah, I
when
think
you- yeah.
more and more there kind of seems to be like this
This
trend
wave,
for modesty, where you can like be elegant, very beautiful for both men and women,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
still be modest. Because even men like
tight.
they
like,
wear
yeah.
tight because they want to also
Yeah,
show
like,
that
show
they
the
have
muscles.
muscles
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
Macho man.
Yeah. So that guys, that's also like
yeah,
you
stop
know,
those.
your
I'm
jogging
27. That shit was done a long time ago, bruh.
pants. Yeah, but going back to I guess like as you said, like it was hard to find I guess an intermediate brand where you could have like this beautiful storytelling and a true vision behind it,
Yeah.
but still like make it accessible to maybe the everyday person.
I
Accessible.
mean, the everyday person, I don't know.
No. What I mean is like accessible in the sense where, like, No, I guess yeah.
No.
Hey, bro.
To be 100% real, when you do see the prices of the clothes, it is
Expensive.
no, it's not expensive. It's something that you can look at and see it as an investment.
Yeah.
There's only going to be 50 of each item made per drop, per collection. So whatever you're going to buy, first you're going to be
Almost
one
better,
out of
yeah.
the 50 people in the world that have it. And second, it's going to be crafted with such quality that you're going to be giving this to your grandchildren, brother.
That's what I was gonna say. It really isn't expensive. It's valuable. Like
Yeah.
that's why he's producing.
Yeah,
it in
yeah, it's
Portugal.
high end.
Really,
Yeah.
it's high end. It's
And
really
I'm
good
not
quality.
I'm not butchering you with 1,200 euros because my brand is, of course, I'm humble enough. I'm nobody. Right now I'm at the beginning stages, so obviously I'm not gonna put my prices up like that. But even in the future, and we will look back at this, I will never ever put my higher than what it's meant to be. Because at the end of the day, I understand why small brands put their prices a little higher when they focus on quality. And at first I didn't understand it, but now when you look back at the actual cost,
Yeah.
it makes sense.
It's expensive.
right?
Also,
to make good quality stuff.
Yeah.
if,
you have to
if you
put-
guys a little business lesson here. No, but it's just like it's just also the economies of scale. Like big brands, since they can mass produce, they can get the cost per unit extremely
cheaper,
low.
cheaper.
But when you're a smaller brand and you're only making 50 units, it's super hard to actually negotiate with the manufacturers to get the same prices as these big brands are
That's
getting.
that business school right there.
You feel? I'm getting that return on investment. You feel? But yeah, so going back, that what I meant, I guess, by accessible is I wasn't even talking about the price. It just feels like accessible, maybe in the sense that like you feel connected
Yeah.
to it. I
Yeah.
guess. But yeah, I guess it's just what vision do you see for 244? Like, hopefully 3, 4, 5 years from now, right? We're able to look back on this episode, and what do you want to be able to say like, oh yeah, like that was what I was trying to build back then. And I'm here.
Yeah. I feel like we are in a world right now where Africa is in the, I would say, the best spot it could be at. In terms of like people are waking up.
Yeah.
People are waking up. And 244 is also about a brand. It's also, the target audience is also people that have never been to Angola or have never been back home. And all they hear about back home is their parents' story. They've never met the cousins, and whoever is back home that they never met. It's something that you can look back and actually think like, oh, maybe I should go back home and learn more. And
Okay.
I want in that in 4 years we are able to represent not just Angola, but be seen as a global company who's changing
Narratives.
not just narratives, but also impacting, like positively impacting in the sense that like we in Angola, let's say we have Luanda, no? Luanda has how many millions?
Close to 10 million,
10, 12 million
Population?
people?
Yeah.
Damn.
No.
Maybe more.
We're packed in that
it's a
city.
lot.
We're
It's a lot.
packed.
I think that we're
A
at
third of the
36 million inhabitants. There's a third of the people that
Yeah.
live in Luanda.
We are packed.
And our country's so big, there could be people like
My dream is that you'll see in 5 years, with God's help, that in Benguela, where there's a port, where it's almost
You produce there?
untouched, manufactured there, and
gonna do it.
it's learning also a new game. So I'm giving myself 5 years, but I know this could be a 10-year goal because I need to understand like, bro, in America you could have like Amazon, you could have
It's
10
so easy,
flights
bro.
in
Yeah.
one day, you know. So to me, it's also understanding like the regional aspects, like. But the goal, is to build a manufacturer in Angola or various. But I also want to be able to not just build a manufacturer, but be able to provide jobs where it's like advanced to today's world. And this goes back to the culture.
Yeah.
I know, for example, like maybe it's hard for us to be digitally advanced because of infrastructure problems, but with the right knowledge, for example, like you guys know how to run a podcast. This bringing it back home is just like in terms of like getting the equipment and teaching. Okay, someone like you work, yes, people do go to school for this
Yeah,
and understand this.
I get what you're saying.
I do understand that it takes way more than that, but I think the moment you start providing jobs that allow people to want to learn those things, then I think the government or whoever will focus on, okay, how do we teach these people to get Africa advanced like that? To me, a good example is South Africa, for example, with film. Netflix now has so many films from South Africa,
yeah.
and you see the level of
Yeah,
production is as good, or is getting there as good as Hollywood.
I think what you
Even
said
like
is true.
Well,
Go ahead,
sorry,
go ahead.
but that like Nigerian, I don't know if you guys saw it, but there was like a new animation series on Disney Plus. It was made by a
Yeah.
Nigerian
Oh, that was
studio, and
incredible.
it was
That's
made
what
for
I
kids.
mean.
But I
That
saw
was
it, and it was
so
like one of the best things
freaking
I've seen in a
good.
while. Like
That's what I mean.
storytelling was so good,
But
animation was amazing.
I
too.
loved how he put it. Never thought about it like that, but it's giving people the opportunity to fall in love with a certain like industry.
Yeah.
It's like when you open the doors to that, people are gonna try it, and like a lot of times they don't try because they don't have the chance or there's
Yeah,
nothing there.
exactly.
And so
Yeah.
if you put a brand and you put like a production factory in Angola, some people are gonna discover that and try that, and that is beautiful. And I really
Yeah,
like
I
that.
think you're touching on a super important subject. Like, a lot of times people underestimate like, you think about fashion, you think it's just, clothing, expensive clothing, and
Yeah.
it's like an
There's
essential
so
thing.
much more
But
behind it.
everything that goes behind it, the amount of jobs, like, you got manufacturing, you got designing. You have
The,
engineering,
Engineers,
Then we
you
can
have-
teach people how to build websites. Like it could go so many ways.
Yeah.
Where
That is true.
a lot of people can gain skills that could literally change their life. And so, like, we have so many celebrities in Angola, but they're not known. All of us, Asians, Africans, Arabs, South Americans, whatever, we focus on the West and how they do things. And not just, and that's good, don't get me wrong, but it's like, how do we apply it to
Us.
and make it
us.
our own. 'Cause-
make it our own, you know?
yeah,
I think it's like, if we're able to actually unlock that industry in Angola, in Africa, in these emerging places, the impact that it could have, even just on our notoriety on a global scale. Because, I mean, you think about a city like Paris, is this la ville de la mode,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
associated to fashion. It'll completely increase your soft power internationally. People will recognize your brand.
And bro-
You'll be known for
Yeah.
doing this. It'll just completely
and
revolutionize.
and like I think something like the event that you went to the other day, and it was about like African entrepreneurship, and something that you said after was like, he was saying that for African entrepreneurs sometimes it's harder because the second you say you're from Africa, it's
Yeah.
already looked at as like you're not valued. It's
And
not.
you're labeling yourself, bro. That's what I said. I'm Kevin. You're not
Kevin.
I'm Kevin.
From
bro.
where?
You are not gonna
Yo,
put
you
me
should-
in no box,
You
bro.
should change your name on Insta to just Kevin.
Just Kevin, bro. I swear, because like, yeah. Do Europeans say I'm a European entrepreneur?
Yeah, no, that's
No.
true. That's true.
Yeah, they just say I'm an entrepreneur.
Exactly.
Yeah, but I guess also what I
And
wanted.
even with our names, bro, Africans love putting Afro in front of the name, bro. Ango Casa, Ango Marte, Ango no sé qué.
Bro, like, relax,
chill.
bro. Stop. Imagine I put 244 Ango. Bro.
You told me this like
That's fire. I like it. Personally, it sounds
Oh, it sounds fire, but like,
Let's see if the French like it.
a broadened vision. That's what I'm saying.
like I think you told me this, and it's like, if your business can operate in other countries, why name yourself after one country?
Yeah,
That's like-
limiting your,
Yeah,
your
limiting
scope
this shit.
immediately,
Yeah.
bro.
Right.
It's not limited to where you're coming from. It honestly has nothing to do like directly
Yeah.
with where you're coming from. I mean, like, the origin and what you're trying to represent is rooted in your, in your past and your upbringing and the fact that you're Angolan and Portuguese. But eventually you'll want it to be, to reach out to more
global.
people, to be global, to
Exactly.
for anyone to be
Yeah.
able to identify with it. So
Yeah,
And that's what I was gonna say.
Sorry, I just wanted to go
This
back.
time
and
I'm saying, I'm
because I
thinking
didn't
now.
finish my thing.
I'm
I got
thinking
cut
now.
off by three people. No, but what I wanted to say is like, I think that something would be so cool. Hopefully, is that one day when you put like Angola, Luanda, or Africa,
sounds good.
like people won't be like, oh, it was made on some like shitty factory. They're like, oh, it was made from Angola. The
Yeah,
quality, that's what I would hope.
don't
Like
get-
to challenge the status quo and do that.
I'm,
You feel
bro,
me?
I'm not gonna be, and that's why I said I'm the creator, not the owner, because like
That's gonna be the new slogan.
Yeah, bro,
for
you
the-
can never own anything 100%. The person that made this based this someone else's work, and
Yeah.
I think I wasn't the first fashion brand in Angola. There's many people who have done
that's
it.
true.
I'm the one who's gonna make it look like these Western brands. You feel me?
Yeah, I
Like
respect that.
adapting the digital side, the marketing side, but also the quality side. And I hope that one day, yes, these companies, instead of going to China, Turkey, whatever, they go to Angola and produce with us.
Yeah.
And that's the representation. I like, our people are talented. I
Oh
could
my
take
God.
kids
Don't get
from
me
the streets
started.
that I used to play with, and they'll every person
Bro.
that I've played with in Europe. I
Don't
swear.
get me started. Oh my God.
Speaking of which, there was recently a math competition. I think.
Yeah,
we
we won.
It was in
something.
Dubai,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
And we
placed, like, second
won
or
a
something.
lot of gold medals at that.
smart people.
Yeah, we do.
I guess
just gonna say.
no, honestly, you've spoken a lot. Like,
No, just like what you were saying. We had this discussion before. How every Zara, every H&M, every Louis Vuitton, at the end of the day, they all look alike. I'm sorry, but even today, Zara, they're making pieces that look high end.
Yeah.
And I think it's also good for Western cultures if Africa starts putting their own culture into clothes, because it's gonna bring something new to the market and to the industry, and that's also powerful. It's also cool for the world itself, not just for us.
And that's why with the fabrics, I am gonna put a little bit of Angolan culture inspiration into it, but I didn't want to really focus on the clothes, putting Angola
Yeah, yeah.
and the culture within the clothes, because it has to be for everyone.
for
It
everyone
has
to
be-
identify.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I'd rather tell that in my story of the the theme of the job, rather than put it on the clothes. Yeah.
I guess we're coming to the end of it, unfortunately.
No worries.
But we'll probably have a few more episodes
Exactly.
in the future, hopefully, when I find
you're
my money
famous.
back. No, but I guess to maybe any just creative or just like a young Angolan or something,
Yeah.
that maybe one day like you just inspired them to create their own brand. Like, what advice would you give to anybody that wants to have the same journey?
I really want you to talk to them. Look at that camera right there.
That camera.
Yeah.
Okay. So, what would I tell? I think I would tell what I would tell you to myself when I was younger. Like, if I could go back, I would tell myself to trust your instincts. So, whatever you think you're good at, I think you need to understand it, but understand it so that it can actually make you even better at it. Because there's a lot of things that I didn't understand were my strengths. I knew, okay, yeah, I know how to talk to people, or not even I know how to talk to people. I can get along well with people. That's a skill, you know? Because there's people that are very shy.
Yeah.
And to run a business, to be honest, like, I could be very shy, but I have to get out of my shelf,
zone.
you know, and talk about my business. Because usually I'm a very quiet person. If I'm around people that are, obviously my characteristic comes out. But I would say, focus on your strengths. Also understand your weaknesses, because those can be they can be your downfall. So if you don't see that you're stubborn, if you lie to yourself that, oh, I'm not lazy, I'm just procrastinating, you need to understand yourself a lot more. And just, again, be confident and be determined, be strong, have a small circle.
And buy 244.
Nah, I'm not. If 244 is meant for you, you'll buy it.
Damn. Deep.
Damn.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's not begging me.
I'm not, for real. I think
Honestly, the advice I wanted to hear. No, I'm kidding. That was awesome advice, and especially for what you said about the weaknesses. I think like sometimes what we see as a weakness, if you take the right angle, you can make it into a strength.
Yeah.
Like, for example, you're a small brand, right? You don't have the same leverage, the same whatever that these big companies have. But when you're able to market it and make it your own, you're then able to use that and make it a strength and make it into an advantage. You know what I mean? So there's that. And I think, I mean, as your younger brother, like, and something that I've learned from you, just being with you and growing up with you, and I think that the people should take away from you is really like your confidence. I think you don't realize it because it's innate for you. It's like you breathe it. But when Kevin wants something, there's no longer a question of how. Like, there might be a question of how he's gonna get there, but there is no question.
No doubt about it.
No doubt about
I'm gonna
it.
do it.
So, if you guys can take one thing from Kevin Capelão is
These are kind words. Thank you. I really didn't know. No, I know I'm confident. But no, but also, I would say specifically because last time and these motherfuckers here they didn't ask this question, but I'm gonna bring it up myself because I'm a real G. They said, when was the last time I went to Angola? So the last time I went to Angola was
don't expose yourself.
We don't want to hurt you.
it was 2019.
Dang.
Pre-COVID.
2020.
No, I was there New Year's.
Yeah,
Yeah,
New
2020.
19 to
Yeah.
20.
19 to 20.
Say 2020.
Are you even Angolan at this point?
Yeah, I breathe, bro. The places I've been to in Angola, Patriota. You guys know the good side of Patriota. I know that.
Hey, I live in Onga.
Where's that? I'm joking, but yeah, for the young Angolan kid, girl, boy, I think that Angola, we have this mentality where we don't think things are possible. I think a lot of things are possible, and you just need to believe in yourself. You need to understand your surroundings. Also ask for help. I think I struggled a lot with asking for help. I always thought I could do everything by myself, and I'm not doing everything by myself. So for those who are helping me, thank you so much. It's not a lot, don't get me wrong, not a lot of people. But for those who care enough to ask me and help me, thank you. So yeah, if you are in Angola and you think the dream is to go to Portugal, to go to the US, no, we are coming back and we are going to build the future of Angola.
Yes, sir.
With the help.
Say it louder.
Yeah,
Say it with your chest, boy.
With the help of those who are in power now and us.
This took a turn.
I'm saying, look, angels at heart. So whatever situation we're in now, just know that those that don't have the good mindset for our country now can always be brought back, and we can change their minds.
Make them listen to those angels.
Angola's where it's at, bro.
Angola's where it's at. You know what? DJ Malvado, congratulations. And this is one thing I'm gonna say last because I know I got 2 minutes. But anyways, Big Nello was the first guy who said even in China, I don't know what the exact line was, but he was like, even in China they know us. So he was talking about Angola, referring to Angola, and I think he was the first one to put that in my head, that Angola can be recognized worldwide.
Big
and
up.
244 and all of us here and all of us back home are going to make that possible. And that's the message I'm going to leave with.
Yes, sir. Thank you for listening.
Hey, man.
Yeah, subscribe, listen, turn on the notification bell. Thank you, Kevin, for being with us today. Yeah, go check out the brand as soon as it's launched.
And
Details
follow
will
him
be
on
down
Insta.
below.
Yes,
follow him
sir.
on Insta and
At
his page.
Boom.
Boom. Boom.
So yeah, thank
Who's
you
the
guys.
editor?
This guy.
Boom, boom, boom.
I got you.
I'm joking. Thank you for having me.
Nah, it's
Always,
already
man.
cut.
To the
Pleasure,
boys that
pleasure.
aren't my little brother.
Cool.
And yes, also I want to give you guys a message. I think Rethink is literally one of the only things that's like keeping me like really motivated in terms of entertainment in Angola. I think you guys have a great vision. You guys are entertaining, and you guys can go very, very far with this. Just trust yourselves and do it right.
Damn.
Thank you.
Thank you. We
Thank you.
appreciate
You hear
that.
that?
We
Follow us,
appreciate
man. Damn.
Yes, sir.
Why the hell are you not understanding?